G'day, this is my TRS-80-Model-I system that I've been working on over the last 2 months. I purchased this system on Facebook Marketplace. It came with the monitor, the case and keyboard. It did not include a power supply or even a main board. So what I did, I ordered some boards from JLC PCB, and I use the wonderful RetroStack project, which allowed me to build a new board, and these are the actual revision G boards that they have on the GitHub page, and these have been tested and there's no bodges, and they're a really nice board to build. I've got a few minor issues with my board. The video memory that I harvested off another board seems to have a bit of an issue, so some of the characters aren't quite drawn correctly. I thought it was a character generator, but I tried a EEPROM character generator to replace the original character generator. That made no difference, and I put the original character generator back in. I haven't carried out the lowercase mod on this system, and I might wait until I've got a different character generator. This character generator has the flying or hanging A bug, which is for the lowercase characters, which is interesting. Yeah, but I'm just going to leave it, I think, stock, and I need to sort out this issue with my video memory. I also am using SD cards to transfer data because I don't have an expansion box for this system. Yeah, and this is something I purchased off Ian from TSR80 Universe, I think is the name of his site. We also had to do some work on the monitor. I thought the opto-isolators, opto-isolator had failed, but no, it turned out to be the caps and the transistor before the opto-isolator on the conversion board, which was a reasonably easy fix. The monitor's in reasonably good condition. The contrast is pretty good. The keyboard had a lot of corrosion. It also needed the 4 ICs replaced on the keyboard. Some of the tracks had also issues with corrosion, so there's some jumpers on the back of the keyboard. I'm using DuPont connectors between the keyboard and the main board. And the cables I'm using are probably a little bit longer than they need to be, so it's a little bit of a mess. Okay, so what else is interesting about this machine? It originally would have been, I suspect, a machine that only had level 1 basic when it was released. The board might have been upgraded, but unfortunately the board had been taken out. Okay, we have an issue here with my code. I'm just going to fix that, I think, and see if we can get this to run properly. That should have been if, oh, okay, 240, if, oh, I hope I don't have another memory problem. I have burnt a diagnostics ROM for this on a 27 16 EEPROM. Okay, so I can use that to test the machine. Okay, that's great for testing the memory. I also have a new gadget for testing memory as well. This is very good for a lot of the early 18-pin, 16-pin memory chips. It's powered either from USB-C or from a 12-volt barrel jack. It also has a really good Windows interface, so you can actually control it from your Windows machine. Yeah, so this is a really great little device, and it's going to be very handy for testing the main memory on the system. Unfortunately, it doesn't support the video memory, but it does support the 4116 chips, which is really, really nice. And I'm quite impressed with the build quality of the 3D printing. It's the fact that it has a interface that runs from Windows. It's actually really good if you're testing lots of chips. Yeah, that's another really handy device that I ended up purchasing to test some memory for this project. Yeah, because at first I thought I had some bad memory as well, main memory, when I ran the diagnostic ROM, but it turned out that it was actually a bad socket. So that was a relief. Okay, let's see if our piece of code runs. Yeah, this is Misagi Electric. Forgive me for what I'm doing, but it's sort of a bit of fun. Okay. Yeah, so I also have the ability to run George Phillips's video player, which is another really cool project. And to do that, I'm just replacing the pick, because I want to leave the original 250 pick alone. So I have another pick, which is, yeah. So we've got another chip that we can just throw in if we want to run the enhanced software or firmware, which is really nice. Burning was a bit of a bugger. I have this knockoff Picket-free programmer, and it was a real bugger to get it to work, but after a bit of tinkering, we did get it to work. I had a lot more joy running this on Windows 7 than Windows 11. I don't quite understand why, because the software seemed to work on both operating systems without any problems, but this just did not work properly on Windows 11. But then again, it is a knockoff. Okay, I am using a small 15-volt power supply that is going into this adapter, which gives me my two supplies. It's giving me 15 and 9 volts, which is really nice. I was planning on building a supply using two toroidal transformers, and I have the board for that, but at the moment it seems to be quite difficult to actually source those toroidal transformers, and I did find some in the States, but they were just a bit expensive, so I decided that I'd go with this solution, which works really well. And before I had this small adapter, I was just using Meanwhile with +5, -5 and +12, which also worked reasonably well, but it's nice having a proper DIMM going in the back, and if I ever do get an expansion interface, we can use the dual supplies or even the modern toroidal heavy duty supply if I can source those toroidal transformers at a reasonable price. Yeah, so I'm actually quite happy with how this is turning out. The machine has a few scratches on it, so I might look at retouching the paint. The monitor is absolutely immaculate, so I don't need to do anything to the cosmetics. It's in really good nick. Yeah, but just a few. It doesn't have the usual wear marks. I don't think the system had a lot of use, but it's just got a couple of scratches on the front where it's taken off some of the paint. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll just turn this off and let's just have a look inside. Yeah, and this is the power adapter that we're using. Yeah, and it works really well. Okay. Now, the G1 cables I'm using are a little bit long, so this is a bit of a mess, but it does make it easy to take the keyboard out. Okay, here we go. There's the main cover off. Yeah, so you can see the G1 cables there. It's a bit of a mess, but it works. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to lift this all out. Okay, and now I'm just going to put that out of the way. Okay. And let the spaces fall out. Yeah, the spaces, I sourced these from, I think it's Tuck's workshop. They have replacement ROMs and adapter boards. They also have the character ROM replacements using EPROMs. They have lots of really nice accessories, cables, everything you'd really need for your TRS-80 Model-I, Model-3 type systems. That's also a really good resource. Okay, on the board, I'm actually using these two 1ROMs, which I've just configured as 2364s, A and B, and that works really well. I had considered using adapter boards and some 2764s, and I may still go down that road, but at the moment that's working really well. The relay, I harvested that off a damaged board, which was unrepairable, so that was really nice, especially these heatsinks. They also came off. The switches, they also came off of a board. I did replace these variable trim resistors with modern resistors. Yeah, they seem to work fine for adjusting the voltage. I did have some damn problems with these voltage regulators before I actually got that to work. The first two that I harvested out of an old machine had blown, and yeah, then I found some additional chips. These have a manufacture date, I think November 78, but I actually have ordered some new chips, which would be good to have those in stock. Yeah, so you can see I've just used DuPont cables, and it's a bit messy, and the cables are too long. But it makes it very easy to put on the bench, and it lets you work on it. As I mentioned earlier, these chips all had to be replaced, so badly corroded, and there's a bit of work that needed to be done on this. There's some bodge wires now running on the back, but it seems to work really well now. Yeah, there's a lot of corrosion on this board, which is a bit of a shame, but that's been repaired. Yeah, so well, I've enjoyed the project, and I hope someone out there found this interesting. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.